just set this camera up. If you decide that you want to give us any information, you can do so. But you don't have to. It's voluntarily, of course. Of course. Make you a little bit comfortable. just trying to make you comfortable. Now you've been sitting here for a while. Just trying to make you as comfortable as possible, right? And if you just want to drop names again, if you just want to just say anything, right?
First one is Chauncey.
Okay, Mr. Arenas.
Billups, Billups.
Okay.
Which is probably what he's going to be working for after this whole scandal is over.
Okay.
Terry Rozier.
Okay, Rozier.
Rozier. Mm-hmm.
Okay, where's he from?
I don't know, like south of France, it sounds like.
Oh, it definitely sounds like a scammer.
Right.
He sound like that dude when you be like, press one for English. You press one for English, and it's this foreigner. Like, damn it, I said English.
The name sounds like he's French, but he definitely looked Nigerian to me.
Okay, you sure? You look a little thirsty. You sure? You sure you can't give us a little bit more information?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You sure?
Can't say I can.
Okay.
You got something else? I'm actually taking my bubbly.
I got scars on heel that money can't fix it. My brother turned to snake just for that quickly. Gay love, they gay hate cause they mind will sick. I was 30 in the clock cause the pot got thick. Damn, change ain't change, only change switch clips. Gotta ride with that drum, keep that clip by my hip. See the pain in my verse every time you hear me spit. They told me keep my circle tight.
So we all know when you start eating at lunch and they start offering you drinks, that's that snitch meal.
Right.
For y'all don't know. They about to snitch.
Right.
They about to start name dropping.
I'm pretty sure a lot of us have watched the first 48.
Yes. And
so as that Coke pop open, it's over.
Mm-hmm. And they try to say, look, we was there, but they ain't the one that shot him. Right? We was both in the car and you arrested me. So just do the math.
Right.
Just do the math. So what y'all might not have talking about. So we talking about, and we won't get into it because that's going to be a segment in itself. Mm-hmm. But just what's going on in the NBA. And I don't even think it's just NBA. It's just the people that they just got caught.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it is because it come with some of the mob ties, right? So Chauncey Billups, he's been arrested for illegal poker game that he was being tied to. But to find out, they don't even care about the illegal poker games. His name also being tied to, same thing with Damian Jones, leaking information, injury information.
Yeah.
Right? So, and if you don't know who Chauncey Billups is, he was Portland Trailblazers head coach. So he's been leaking information. And to find out, it came back from Damian Lillard's last year with the league. And the 2023 season. So
Damian Lillard's last year with the
Trailblazers, yes. So he ended up, Lillard was never injured. But, of course, they was trying to tank for the number one pick. And nobody even knew what was going to happen. So he set him down games that they were winning, or he set him down games just for no reason, but just to find, and never even leaked the information that was going to happen. But apparently, the people that was betting on these games, they knew the information. So they already knew to take the over or the under on these games. Same thing with Damian Jones. Like, he leaked information. And this is where you say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
This nigga then cheated himself. And this is why I say that. So they were paying Damian Jones information. Same thing with Chauncey Billups. Information for these injuries for the under and over. Damian Jones, one day, Anthony Davis and LeBron James was on minute restrictions. but nobody knew. And this was a game at the point they was below 500. The Lakers end up winning that game. LeBron and AD end up playing the whole game. So the bettors lost a whole bunch of money and they demanded a refund back from Damian Jones. Therefore, I say
For bad information.
yes. Therefore, I say like if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying to a whole nother level because you didn't cheat it yourself, right? And I guess you could sum it up for them about the whole Terry Rozier.
Terry Rozier. So, I mean, some people are speculating that it goes before he was even playing with Charlotte. But even a lot of his gambling stuff, partaking in a lot of those, he was meant to like lure big fish into like a lot of those games.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like what Terry Rozier's like purpose of it was to like lure like bigger names into like those poker games in order to, I guess, like how would you say it? Like he basically in order for them to accrue a debt, so that basically like now you owe me one.
Yeah.
So Terry Rozier he would also, I think he was also betting against himself too.
Yeah.
Where like some games he'll like do some foul shots in order to like get the over. Some cases he'll foul out on purpose so that he will be on the under.
Yeah. Even with Terry Rozier, he even pulled himself out of games faking injuries. And before the game, he'd tell them like bet the under because those little 18 to 20 points I'm normally give them, they won't have that because I'm going to fake an injury. So just bet the under. And this was crazy. You are a fool.
Yeah.
Not just because of what you were doing, right? Because to me, it's a privilege to be in the NBA. Not many people get there.
400 plus people.
Right. And the fact that you were making $26 million this year and what you were getting back in return wasn't nearly as much. Same things with Billups.
Yeah.
You were making $7 million this year, and what you was getting in return wasn't enough. Well, I really can't say that because we don't know how far this has been going on. We don't know how long it's been going on.
Yeah.
But even with the Terry thing, he not only had these people bet, his friends and his family, this fool had them bring the money to his house.
Yeah. That's another thing that he cited for money laundering.
Yeah, like we all know, like, bruh, if you're the high profile name, you don't supposed to be seen.
It needs to be several people in the way of you.
Exactly. Nobody supposed to know you even attached to it. But you decided to have them bring the money to your house. And we all know when it comes to the people doing fraudulent stuff, when it comes to people scamming and doing laundering, like we all know, follow the money.
Right.
Follow the money. The money will always take you back.
Yeah. Now, one of my favorite podcasts, Crime and Sports, they actually had an interesting take on this. They had said, like, along with, like these are, all alpha males.
Yeah.
They're competitive. So once like a lot of these places started to legalize betting, then it opened up, like a lane for this type of stuff to happen. Obviously, it was prevalent already, but to the extent that it is now, of course is grown because now like they don't have to just like bet against each other on the plane ride to like whatever city they're about to play in. They can take it further. They could bet on their own games, which a lot of them are doing. I mean, and the crazy part is, we were kind of discussing this off camera. It's not just the small guys, who are on those like those like 2-way deals, 10-day contracts. It's big names. It probably gets even bigger, but just like with the whole Michael Jordan scandal all those years ago, you might not really see the light of day when it comes to like the bigger, much bigger names associated to it.
Yeah, but to me, I feel like you get paid enough to not want to bet on your own games.
Yeah.
But goes back to the podcast you were saying, where I know they had a former mob boss, Bookie, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
They had him on there talking about it too, and they were just saying that it can be one of those things where you get in debt with somebody at a game,
Yeah.
and then they go to the bookie and be like, "I need to go collect," and he'd be like, "Wait, so how much do you owe?"
Mm-hmm.
And he'd be like, "Well, he only owe 50,000." He'd be like, "No, let him get it to 250. Let him get to $250,000."
Yeah.
And then you come and get me. And then all of a sudden, that NBA player with a high profile name
Mm-hmm.
will sit in front of that bookie, and he'd be like, "Well, I'm gonna need my money, right?" And he'd be like, "Okay, I understand that." And then the bookie already know, I'm gonna let him go. And then people wondering, why you just let him go? Why you ain't collect? It was like, because I know he's gonna go to another casino or he's gonna go to another high powerful poker game,
Mm-hmm.
get himself into debt, not knowing the person that he owe is me.
Still me.
Still me. So he's gonna come sit before me again, and then I'm gonna act like I'm really interested in the guy, and I'm gonna say, you know what? I really like you. I really do. Like, you know what? Just do me a favor here. Just do me a couple favors, and we'll see where it go from here.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when they start betting on the games. That's when they start giving injury reports, and then they start recruiting more players, and that's how the whole circle just keep going.
Right.
And you're never in debt. But I guess the NBA decided to crack down on it really with Chauncey Billups is it wasn't even more so the poker game, because I mean you got, right?
Yeah.
It was more so when they heard about him leaking information, because now they feel like it's messing up the integrity of the game, because people already think sports are rigged.
Right.
So now I think that's where more is just like, yeah, we gotta do this, because everybody's question is, you already had an investigation out on Terry Rozier.
Yeah, like what, 2-3 years ago,
Yeah.
right?
So why continue to let him play?
Right.
So that's the question. And I think once the whole Chauncey Billups and Damian Jones thing come in, it was just like, you know what? We got to make some arrests, because we got to keep the integrity of the game intact, and we have to keep our name intact. Like, because people already think we're rigging games.
Yeah, and here's my question. Like you had kind of mentioned, some of these guys, when do you think it even would have like started? Because like Chauncey Billups was also a player.
Yeah, and that makes me wonder. And I take you back. I gotta do another skit.
Okay.
It probably went like this. You Chauncey Billups. I'm the FBI agent at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to him now. I'm talking to Chauncey. Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
No. Don't just say huh. Don't just shake your head at me. I knew you wouldn't beat the Lakers. I knew goddamn well you ain't beat Kobe Bean Bryant and no Shaquille O'Neal. So you had help then, didn't you? I know you ain't beat them straight up. It just don't make sense. How the fuck y'all beat
Kobe, Shaq, Karl Malone, Gary Payton?
How do y'all beat them and they only won the game?
What was the referee?
No, don't wait. I'm asking the questions here, Chauncey. That's how I think it would. That's how I think it went.
Because what is that referee's name? Donahue?
Yes. And he was involved in the scandal.
Yeah. But he's been saying for years, for at least like 20 some odd years, that it's much deeper than him. It goes much further than that. A lot of these games are intended to, one, either placate other people, or prevent other people from like getting over. Like how they said that they basically had that rule for Allen Iverson, like we're gonna get him to conform to like us. So like they would call travels and stuff on him.
Yeah, but even with when you say where your party went to or where this came about, you never know, because the same thing what the guy was saying on the podcast is sometimes athletes, coaches, players, they get themselves in trouble.
Yeah.
And they call people like us because we the only one that can cover it up. But when you do this, you have to do something for me. So it could have been one of those situations where Chauncey probably got himself in trouble with some stuff, and can get out of it, or he probably
Mhm.
owed somebody some money, and that was the only way to repay that debt. The interesting thing about it is also when he got arrested, he showed up in a hoodie. They got Clutch Sports, and if you know anything about that, that's LeBron's brand.
Mhm.
So is that a subliminal? Is that like is this something that there, or am I fishing, or is he
No,
like trying to tell us something without
because
saying it?
wasn't LeBron mentioned? Well, I guess it was just like the injury reports and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he came up a number of times as far as injuries go,
Yep.
and I think that's on purpose. And also, I find it to be ironic. I forget what it is. Either it's like better or something. But LeBron, he does also like appear in advertisements for gambling.
Yeah, but I just I don't know. I feel like if you're an athlete, right? Maybe if you're doing it on, I don't know. I just feel like professional athletes shouldn't be betting on professional games. Only reason I say that because you have connections with other athletes, and you
Mhm.
never know what information is getting traded back and
Right.
forth.
Right.
So if you want to play poker, that's a different thing. If you got during that time, okay,
Yeah.
sure. Because Chauncey Billups, and I guess he was just luring bigger fish in just to get regular Joes or people with some money to come to the table just to say, "Oh, I'm playing poker with Kevin Garnett. I'm
Mhm.
playing poker with Chauncey Billups. I'm playing poker with Damian Jones. I'm playing poker with a professional."
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then that makes them feel good, not knowing that they getting cheated out their money.
Yeah.
Right. So that was his involvement in that. But as far as like sports betting, I think they shouldn't do it. Like you get paid enough. You get paid millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Right. I see if you was like Drake. Drake always hit his parlays and making plenty of money. But
Mhm.
my thing again, like I just feel like that's different.
Yes, I agree.
Oh
and
yeah, because
disagree
he
with that,
has
'cause
attachments with athletes too. Yeah.
he has way too many connections with a lot of those people.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're right as far as like sports betting goes. If you're an athlete, because for one, like you said, like once you like reach a certain level, like you make friends with certain people, so you could be friends with like a football player, baseball player, and unfortunately, a lot of these like sports they parallel one another like during the year. So like we're wrapping up baseball. So right now we have baseball, football, basketball going right now. And then in a couple, well, I think we got hockey going too.
Yep.
So and then so it gets way too murky.
Yeah, and a lot of people ain't making $200-300 million.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, some people are, and they just blowing their money.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like I know it's one of those what you mentioned before, competitive things where I have a lot of money, so it's like I bet big and I lose big.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's the thrill of it all.
Yeah, So, but I just feel like if it was me, if I was an athlete, I'm not going nowhere near that.
Yeah,
like not at all.
But also, you had mentioned this off camera, that story about Carmelo Anthony and David Stern.
Oh yeah,
and like that whole thing of these are organizations that are very public, the NBA, the NFL, and stuff. But you cannot tell me that for one, a lot of these owners probably have their own affiliation to a lot of like crime families, especially like the ones where you like ask how did they get their money. It's like
yeah. But also, to piggyback off of that, the story was basically Carmelo was hanging around some bad people when he was in New York, and there was a time where David Stern at the time he put him in an office. Was like, look, you want to be a thug or you want to be an NBA basketball player? Because we're corporate. We're corporate. Like you can't hang around those people. Like, and Carmelo was looking at him like, what are you talking about? He's like, look, I know where your mama lay. I know where your daddy sleep. I know where your friends sleep. I know, like, just stop hanging around them.
Right. I know about the house on the West Coast. I know about the house on the East Coast. I know about the Hawaii spot.
Think about it. So, you think it's a coincidence when John Morant was on Instagram with that little gun? You think that was a coincidence that he got caught up that quick? The NBA got people assigned to these players' accounts. They're watching every single thing, which they should. You are 200, 300, 400 million dollar investment.
Right.
Like, people want to have to play with their money.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna watch everything you do.
Right. If it's not the owner and like that staff watching you, then yeah, I would say it's the NBA as a whole watching you.
Yeah, and
especially if they're shopping for a face right now.
Yeah, and I also think these organizations, they had private people to clean up these big messes. You get into real trouble, they got people to sweep this stuff under the rug and really, like, I really feel like they have people like that in real life, like the NBA.
Yeah, hint the Jordan scandal. A lot of people speculate that time that he took off for baseball was because, you know, of like some gambling that he did, and this was basically like a quiet suspension. We can't outwardly say that he's suspended. Let's just say he's doing something else that he wanted to do.
Yeah. So speaking of Jordan, NBC, they're doing, which I like this segment, because there's a lot of time when Kobe stopped playing, you got into the mind of Kobe Bryant, that Mamba mentality.
Details.
Yeah. And you got into the Mamba mentality, why it works. You got into Peyton Manning when he had details after he stopped playing, right? So you got some of it in the minds of some of these brilliant players, right? And now we digging inside the mind of Michael Jordan. And one of the questions that happened the other night was about this load management. And they asked him, what do you feel about load management? I mean, he don't like load management.
Yeah.
Jordan played 14 seasons. Out of the 14 seasons, 11 of those seasons, he played 80 games.
Yeah. Like Kobe Bryant, like his thought process was basically the same of Jordan. I think he actually got it from him. These people pay to see us. They pay a lot of money, and this may be the only time that they're able to see us. I'm not going to let them down.
Yeah. And to me, I just feel like it's just foolish. Like, you get paid a lot of money to play basketball. And I understand, we understand the science of load management. If you're an older player, okay, sit out a game or two. If you're injured, sit out a game and get healed. Like, I understand the science of it. And then plus, with all these analytics and all these numbers, you saying, okay, on game 3, he only peak at 50% of what he can be, and all these numbers. Like, to me,
with 2 days of rest, he plays.
Yeah, you know, so kiss my podcast with all that, right? Because to me, I don't think it's a load management issue that's the reason why these players are getting injured. I think, and we talked about this before, there's a scheduling problem. Because, like, look at the Warriors. Last week, they played a back-to-back game, right? And then now they're about to play another back-to-back. Like, to me, it's too many back-to-backs. It's not enough time in between games. Because tell me, today is Thursday. They play Tuesday. You have a trip to Milwaukee, which is today. And then now you play Thursday, right? There's not enough time. Like, and these athletes are pouring everything out on the court for 2.5 hours. And you're telling me that only a day to recover, and then you got to go right back out of there. I think that's the reason why players are getting injured. Like, you can kiss my podcast with this load management stuff.
Yeah, and also just watch when and how injuries happen. And like you saw, that was the most prevalent during the playoffs because
back to back to back to back.
Exactly.
No time in between.
And then some people like just the amount of travel in between that. So it's just a lot that like is involved. Because for one, you had mentioned like the science of it all, but also with like that science, you do also have, you know, better nutritionists, better, you know, like better regimens and stuff. And in a way, I think that also is kind of like the thing that's causing some of these issues too. Like those like hyperbolic chambers and stuff, where like you're basically stressing the body to recover in like so fast that it's not actually like recovering.
Nope, it makes you feel better, but the muscles aren't actually repairing themselves. Because anybody know that when you work out, it tears the muscle, right? And then when it repairs itself, that's how it come back stronger. But you're not even allowing that recovery time.
Right.
You just right back at it. And you put this heat, and like you said, you put those little things on there, those little suction cups, and you thinking, oh yeah, I feel good. Like, it's temporarily, but what you're doing to your body is really, you're breaking it down a lot faster.
Right.
And I understand you're trying to preserve and you're trying to prolong these athletes' careers because now they're not playing 10, 12 years. Now they're playing 20 something years or 15, 16 years. Like, I get that.
Right.
And all. But it's like, in between, how many full seasons are they really missing if you adding up all the games throughout the years?
But also, how many, like, there are a lot more players that are playing a lot longer. But you still have, like, those athletes, regardless of what sport it is, that are still only under that, like, that first contract. So the money's not there. Like, you start getting into, like, the, you know, like the real medical advances, you know, like upon that second, third contract when you're making even more money.
Yeah.
Where you can spend $1 million on your body every summer.
Yeah. Because, to me, load management is just some bull. And because I remember this, right? I remember I went to a Warriors game. And not because my gay friends invited me to it. Right? Which I'm going to a Warriors game today. And not because my gay friends invited me. So don't judge me because of my ponytail.
What? Okay.
So, but I remember when I went, I was so pissed off because I brought front row seats, like to see Steph, right? And I was so pissed when I got there because Steph wasn't playing because they had a back-to-back. So that game, they chose that he wasn't going to play. And it's just like, I'm from Milwaukee. I'm only going to see him once a year. And I spent all that money for him not to play.
I got scars on heel, that money can't fix it. My brother turned to snake just for that quickly. Gay love, they gay hate cause they mind will sick. And I was 30 in the clock cause the pot got thick. Damn, change ain't change, only change switch clips. Gotta ride with that drum, keep that clip by my hip. See the pain in my verse every time you hear me spit. They told me keep my circle tight, but that bitch